Welcome to partialarc.com. Don't do that.
You find yourself in a tavern.
Yo, we should have checked for traps.
I knew he forgot something.
I think I can reason with him.
You killed his father.
Can I have sex with it?
You could certainly try.
I'm gonna touch a sword.
Don't touch the sword!
The child is evil, right?
Obviously.
I could cast Fireball.
Always cast fireball.
All right, roll for it. Welcome to Friday Night Quests. I'm your host and Dungeon Master, Jay Jones. This week we bring you a special holiday adventure as we take a peek back at the early lives of one of our characters. But before we begin the adventure, we wanted to extend a heartfelt thank you to everyone who backed the Kickstarter for our board game, Mortals Descend of the Gods. We reached our funding goal and unlocked our first stretch goal, and that couldn't have happened without those of you who backed the game and shared our campaign with your friends. We'll be keeping you posted with updates as we complete the process, but we wanted to share our gratitude for everyone who helped make our dream a reality. With that out of the way, let's get to the game. All right, let's meet our players. To my left, would you introduce yourself and tell us the name of your character?
Definitely. My name's Heather. My character is Yvette.
Yvette, is she a human?
She does not know she is a tiefling.
Okay, and what class is Yvette?
She is a wizard all the way.
Very nice. Now, a very nice wizard?
Not even a little bit. No, she is chaotic evil all up in this business.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any other additional descriptors that we might look to when we think of like Yvette? Does she have like a crazy staff, or does she have like a cloak of some sort?
Her element is a rod. She has a proficiency for cold spells as well. She really likes to get ice up in there.
Very icy.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. All right, our player up next is...
Hi, my name is Alan, and I'll be playing Braddock.
All right, tell us a little bit about Braddock.
Braddock is a half-orc conjurer.
And does Braddock have any sort of, I guess, familiar tied to any specific type of spell?
He has a bat.
Oh, okay. Is that his magical instrument?
No, his magical instrument's actually a crystal that he got when he was a child.
Oh, perfect. I thought it was just as bad. I was like, oh, wow. I was like, here's a wand. It's like, not awesome enough. Give me a bat. Very cool. Up next is, who are you?
My name's Mike, and
last name is?
Christensen, usually.
All right. I'll believe it, I guess.
And I usually play Sweeney, and right now I'm playing Linus Whitaker.
Who is
not yet Sweeney. He's a level
Sweeney.
1 wizard.
We're rogue one-ing this, everybody.
Oh, no.
We're really more Phantom Menacing it, really.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
The better of the two. So, Linus, what at this young age, because we know Sweeney in regular Friday Night Quest story, but Linus at this time, what is kind of his deal? Is he using wands? Is he, where is he in his magical age?
He's using a component pouch. He's getting his, material components. That's still his jam. He's aiming to be an illusionist, so he's got the minor illusion spell. And other than that, he's just a little punk. Just a little punk kid.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And finally, we have...
Hi, I'm Michael Fernandez.
And Michael, what is the name of your character?
My character is Markus. He's a human wizard. He loves to believe that he's some sort of awesome assassin. He's got dark clothes on. He runs around with the dagger. He's not. He's going to be really bad.
Is that it? What's his magical implement?
His magical implement, he uses a wand.
Oh, okay.
So he's got dagger, wand.
He has the dagger out, but he's holding the wand like in his pocket. And he's making magic.
Well, and he holds his dagger southpaw.
Oh,
just to be
nice
the worst.
An extra badass.
Yeah.
That's the fantasy equivalent of cocking the gun to the side.
Yeah.
That's when you know.
Yeah.
That's the final class in like assassin school. They said, the rumors were true. Here it is, the final class. All right, guys. So we have all our players, and now we step into the story. So it is Bahamutmas Eve, and you guys are freezing. The winter has been pretty tough leading up to this date, and you guys are currently now huddled around what was previously in kind of an owner's home who have recently vacated the house. They're no longer around. Alaric Lavont, who you all refer to as Mr. Lavont, said he took the owners out and spoke to them in the backyard, and they were kind enough to let him take the place for the evening. You guys are inside of this hut right now, sitting around a table. The shutters are closed, but the wind and the cold is very, very harsh. One of you has kind of gotten to cooking up a stew. Alaric has kind of put his feet up on one of the chairs nearby. But this probably isn't going to be a place that is going to keep you guys warm for the remainder of the winter. There just isn't enough food. There just isn't enough clothing or beds probably for everybody. And so we jump in now to this scene here with Alaric and all four of you. Linus, are you finishing up with that stew?
Yeah, it's the spices they have are not very many, so it's mostly gonna taste like hot water.
Okay. Can you go out and find some spices? I feel like the rest of the group here would certainly enjoy a finer stew.
I could go out.
I think I saw a couple berry patches just outside to the right.
Okay, great. Yeah, I'll...
Oh, Linus, be sure to bundle up. It's chilly outside.
Yes, will do. Thank you, Mr. Lavont.
Try to find some rosemary.
I'll see what I can find.
So, Linus, you step outside, and you're going out, and there's like a couple berries and some bushes out there.
Rosemary, I bet that's a plant.
So you're wandering around out there, and you see just over down the hill line. You didn't see it during the day when you guys arrived at this hut, because it was light out. And when you guys graciously were allowed into the home of these owners who have wandered off somewhere after speaking to Alaric, you see now just down the hill, you see a series of lights illuminating down at the bottom, like many lights. It looks like could be coming from a small town of sorts. So you gather some of your provisions and you come back
I'm not
inside.
going back in without the spices.
Yeah.
We have these. Mr. Lavont, I noticed something. We didn't see this when we came in during the day, but looks like there's a town or a village or something over the hill. I saw some lights anyway.
Really? A town just down there, you say?
Yeah.
And he leans back in the chair a little bit, kind of thinking to himself, did you happen to see the name of the town?
No, I did not, no.
That's so odd. I had no idea there was a town around here. You know what? I say we go on a little bit of a trip. How is everybody feeling?
Yes. That
Yeah.
sounds fantastic.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know about you, but I'm not the biggest fan of your stew, Linus, regardless of how much... Is that rosemary?
Probably.
You found? Perfect. Well, I think we all deserve a little bit better lodgings, don't all of you?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, how about let me take a quick peek, and maybe we can find a little bit of a better, housing situation for all of us. Does that sound good?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, just wait right here for a moment. And Alaric steps out the door and walks out.
I start putting the rosemary and stuff into the stew, and then I start doling it out to everybody in whatever bowls the owners had, and still serving it to everyone.
I definitely don't even take it. I put on a coat and go out the front door.
Okay. Bye. Here, Braddock. I think that's rosemary.
Braddock just sort of stares at it, very confused. What he's looking at it, mostly clear water, just slightly murky.
We didn't have any rabbits or anything, so it's mostly just. Yeah, it's meant to be that texture. Here you go. Here you are, Marcus. Here you go.
I take the bowl and I look at it disdainfully and just keep pushing it past me along the table.
Well, I guess I'll drink and I'll keep my strength up. I don't know the rest of you guys, but I'm definitely going to.
Better than mother's home cooking.
I take a sip. That sticks to your ribs. Yeah, it really does. Okay. Well, I guess we're just waiting for Mr. Lavont to get back. So,
yeah. And what do you guys do while you wait, by the way? Because he's been gone for about an hour now. Is there anything else you guys do? Like, how do you guys kind of spend the evening in terms of like just unwinding yourselves? Like, how does the group Alaric's court kind of interact when he's out and about?
Well, Braddock is going to eat all of the soup that got passed up.
Oh, nice.
I'm probably sitting by the fire, just trying to stay warm, quite honestly.
Yeah, I went outside right after Alaric left and was just kind of watching him until he disappeared. I was on the porch for a bit and then came back in. I was by the fire as well with Linus.
I'm probably also sitting around the hearth kind of, but in the back corner looking edgy. My robe on.
You sit just far away from the fire so there's enough
Just
shadow
far
on you.
enough, yeah.
But like you're probably still a little bit cold, so like your foot is still sticking out real close to the fire.
There's about 5 minutes of you just like adjusting the hood to cast the right shadow. You kind of like check in the mirror that you kind of keep concealed. You're like, yeah.
I'm pretending like the cold isn't bothering me, but I am just shaking ever so slightly.
So about an hour goes by, and the door swings open, and Alaric steps in. I have some wonderful news. Now, there is a small town down there. It's called Crystal's Keep. I've never heard of it before. And it appears that they're doing some construction as well on this new keep. But this keep is, it's got everything we would ever want. I mean, it's got wonderful little houses, each of us. I think each of you could get your own home for the evening, or a nice bed. Wouldn't that be nice?
Oh, yes.
Also, some fine bars and some fine foods and things like that. The problem, though, this town is, I hate to say it, not welcoming to strangers. They've got some guards set up right at the front and along every perimeter. It seems they're dead set on not letting any strangers in, even in this terrible cold.
Did you explain that we were here?
I did, and myself, I did a little bit of my magic, and they still just wouldn't let me in, just a man with some wonderful, my family, of course, of all of you, just couldn't give us a place to stay. So listen, I've devised a little plan. So nearby Crystal's Keep is a tower. There's a regular, simple tower looking over the town, but when I got closer, not simple at all. You see, this tower is home to the local wizard, or I guess magical expert, you might say. And this old bastard, I'll say, he seems to be keeping the town in this kind of anti-outsider view. It seems that from what the guards were saying, that if he says anyone can come in, they can. So I think the idea here is that we persuade this old wizard to let us in. And now, when I say persuade, I mean take from. You see, we can do some trickery here and there, but he's got a special relic that the townsmen, that these guards identified the wizard by specifically. It's a special circular artifact he hangs around himself. And I think if we get our hands on it with a little bit of magic, I can obviously make myself look like the old fella himself, and we'll trot on into town and enjoy ourselves. Does that sound good?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes. Let's
Perfect. Now, remember, this is as old and decrepit as this wizard might be. He's still probably got a few tricks up his sleeve, and I know each of you are still learning, but there's quite a bit of dangerous magic out there, and his tower is probably, how I should say this, booby-trapped to a certain extent. So I want you each to be cautious, and in fact, I just so happen to have this on me. And he pulls out of his bag a little scroll and lays it down on the floor. Now, this scroll in particular, think of it like a get-out-of-jail-free card. If anything goes wrong, and remember, you guys are very, very important to me, and I wouldn't want anything horrible to happen to you. But if something were to go wrong and you were all in terrible danger, I want you to tap the scroll here, unwind it, and it'll bring you just back to me, and I'll take care of any of the trouble. But typically I'd be along for the ride to help you out, but he's just an old wizard. I think each of you has the chance here to really prove where you sit in the court.
Yeah, we can handle it.
Yeah, let's go break in and get some wizard.
Perfect. So he tosses the scroll and rolls it forward. Which one of you picks it up?
Braddock picks it up.
Okay. So you run up and scoop it up, put it in your pocket. So just show you just down the way where the tower is, but I think it should be fairly easy. Just scale it up, get the artifact off the old idiot, and I'll meet you at the bottom. All right? So he gets all of you outside of the hut and walks you down. And at this point, it's dark, it's cold, the wind is blowing pretty harshly. Walks up to the tower. Alaric walks straight up to it, doesn't have to look at a map for whatever reason, and walks right up to it, and oh, there it is. Remember, please be cautious. I don't want anything happening to each of you. I'll see you when you're done. And don't take too long. Listen, it's awfully cold, and I could really use a drink. So, please be speedy with it.
You got it.
Yeah, we'll do.
So Alaric stands there as each of you walk up to the tower. Now, this tower in its design, it looks like an old decrepit tower. Imagine kind of like a classic small wizarding tower where it looks like it's going up straight, then it angles to the right, then it angles to the left, and it has like a nice little circular cap on the top. You know, the pointed circular triangle cap on top of it. Like just a standard little old
Like
wizard
Sword in
tower.
the Stone.
Mm-hmm. It looks like it's got like a little wizard. Got a little. It looks like you'll never get in.
Freebie!
But it's got a little window at the top, but the shutters are closed. Otherwise, the tower looks like it's made of stone. It's got one little entrance at the bottom with a little wooden door with a little wooden knob on it, but otherwise, nothing else. No signs, nothing. So, what do you guys do?
Arcana check on the door.
Sure.
21.
21. Kind of examining the door and how the cut of the wood is, looking for in between the grooves of the wood for like magical incantations. You don't see anything. It looks like a regular door.
I cast mage armor on myself.
Okay.
Never can be too cautious.
So this, how does this mage armor look on Marcus, by the way?
So I wave my wand in my one hand, but cool like, okay. And it a purpley blackish smoke like sort of comes around me slowly and then goes invisible, but there's sort of an invisible force wall.
Just hovering over your
just
body?
around. Yep.
Very cool. Okay, so you've
Maybe
got your
the
mage
snow
armor.
is landing on that and not me anymore.
Just like lightly stopping on top of it.
Nice.
As it hits, it makes like cool little purple ripples as it hits your armor. And your AC is now, which is typically 13. It means now with mage armor you're 16, correct?
Yes, correct. Nice. And so then I go up.
What's going to be in this? Are you worried about the wizard tower?
I mean, weren't we explicitly told to be careful?
We're level 1 teenage wizards. Yes, we are worried.
And then I go up and check the door and see if it's locked.
You turn the handle and the door swings open.
Not suspicious at all.
As the door swings open, a rush of warm air fills outside of the front door as if there might be like a hearth or like a fire inside.
Who wants to lead the way?
I'm going to sneak in. Be so sneaky and very stealthy.
Okay.
Your dice are so hard to read.
They are really hard to read. That is a 14.
14? Okay. So you creep inside, and as you step in, you can feel where that heat is coming from. When you step in on the left-hand side, there is a hearth and 2 couches in what looks like the bottom of a kind of like a den, almost like a nice little living room. Stone floor, stone walls. But as you step in and you notice this, the inside looks a little bit larger than the tower on the outside. Where you were, the tower in itself, the width of it, it looks like you could kind of run around it in almost a few seconds. But now that you've stepped inside, it looks like it's almost tripled in width. So you step inside, and there's a hearth on the left. It's billowing out with nice flames. You see some couches and a nice kind of like a coffee table sitting in front of the fireplace. On the right, there's a couple pictures hanging, and you see sitting in the kind of the center on the coffee table is like a bowl of cookies and a glass of milk.
I'm leaning in. Marcus! Marcus!
What?
Do you see anything?
I mean, there's cookies.
And I just walk past Marcus is leaning.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah, as
definitely
Marcus
follow
is
right
sneaking in,
behind.
do you guys just walk right in? Okay.
I'm still at the door. Cookies?
Dude, Linus, just get in here.
Oh yeah, sure thing, Yvette.
Okay, so you guys are inside, and do you leave the door open or you close the door?
Remus was the last one in.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I'd probably leave it open.
Okay. So you guys are sitting in, or not sitting, you're standing in the room. Now, on the other side of the room, past the couches, you see what looks like a little stone archway with stone stairs going up and to the right. So you can't see where they go. It looks like they circle around the inside of the tower. And that's all that's in this room. Pictures, 2 couches, a fireplace, nice little bowl of cookies, and a glass of milk.
I grab a cookie for sure.
Grab a cookie?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a
Haven't
cookie?
eaten yet. I totally have a cookie.
All right, you eat some cookies.
Yes.
Are you eating it, or are you just...
I'm definitely eating them.
Okay.
It's delicious. They're really good cookies.
cookies.
Yeah. Really warm too, like really warm
fresh.
cookies. Yeah. Yeah, like they just came out of the oven, strangely.
I'm gonna kind of look up the stairs, just kind of like cock my head and look around and see if there's anything that I can see up there.
So you peek and look around the stairs, and you don't see anything. You just see some stone walls and some further stone stairs spiraling up to the right.
You're probably up this way, guys, right?
I start walking up the stairs.
You start walking up the stairs. Does everybody else follow?
Yes.
Okay. You guys start following up the stairs, and you're walking. You're going up a couple stairs, and as you start going up the inside of it, you look to the right where, you kind of see like that stone pillar up the center of like a spiraling staircase. And as you start walking up the stairs, you see like a little hole. It looks like a little tiny hole inside the spiraling staircase. I say tiny, but it's big enough that you guys could like step into it. Like you could actually reach through, and you hear rushing water on the inside of this spiraling staircase, like bubbling water. But you continue to walk up and up the staircase. Now, Yvette, you feel, like I said, that cookie was warm. It was warming you before. It's actually getting a little hot. You're getting a little sweaty at this point. But you're still fine. You guys continue to climb the stairs, and you've been climbing the stairs for like 10 minutes, step after step after step after step after step. And you're starting to get a little bit tired. You're starting to get a little bit warm. You, Yvette, you've had to take a few breaks and stop. You guys are, you're not without your dexterous moves, and you guys are all little kids, and you've had to have times where you've run about. You're not all like lazy, but this is quite a climb. It feels like you've been climbing a tower hundreds of feet high. But again, the outside, this looked like a small, little, regular, tiny tower. And you've been climbing and climbing and climbing the stairs. Yvette, you actually have a point of exhaustion at this point. So point of exhaustion means that you have disadvantage on ability checks.
Got it.
So, yeah, you guys are starting to sweat. But again, it doesn't look like this is going anywhere. You keep looking around the corner, and you still see the stairs go up and up. But again, as you keep going up these stairs, you keep seeing this hole with the sounds of rushing water.
Can we poke I guess leaning in, can we tell if the water is actually visible, or do we just hear it?
Yeah, so you peek your head in, and you actually see the water is just below the lip of the hole, just resting right there, bubbling a little bit.
Bubbling like it's hot, or like it's churning?
You just see a couple bubbles pop up.
I want to kind of like put my back of my hand towards the water to kind of see how warm the water might be.
The water, when you put your hand towards it, it looks like there's no heat coming off of it. Like it looks refreshing. It doesn't look like salt water, just like refreshing, slapping water.
I think this is not a good idea, but I don't know how long these stairs are going to go.
Do you look inside further, like more?
Yeah, I mean, I'm leaning in as far as
okay.
I can at this point.
So
yeah.
you lean in, you look down, you see the water, like it looks like a pool, like a well of water, just right below the lip of the stone circle. And you look up, and you see actually kind of jutting out from the inside of this. Now you see, like when you've stuck your head in, you're kind of like inside a stone cylinder. And inside, you actually see a couple stone pieces jutting out where it looks like someone might grab like a little ladder. And just above you, only maybe 10 feet up, is a wooden door with a little metal latch handle to crack it open. Like it looks like it would open up into a room.
I want to try something. Does anyone have something small they don't care about, like a bauble or anything? I don't know. I'm gonna grab like a button out of one of my pockets.
Okay.
And can I I want something larger than that. Does anyone have any rope? I guess we have rope, right? Presumably.
I have rope, yeah.
Presumably, you guys have like the main adventuring, items and tools.
I want to take a loop of rope and like loop it around one of the stone one of the stone outcroppings, I guess.
Okay.
And just loop it around there and hang it there, and then I want to run down to the last hole we passed and poke my head in and see if it's in the same place.
Yeah, so you run down, and there it is again.
Okay.
It looks like the hole you're looking into is almost exactly where you were above.
Yeah. Okay. I'll run back up to them and say, I think this is the real entrance. I think we got to go up through that. The rest of the stairs are going to go until time stops.
Yeah.
Fascinating.
I'll go first, I guess.
Okay. So you step in, right? Do you put your foot on the stone the thing, and you're looking to climb up to get to the latch.
Yep.
So you're holding the rope. You're going to need to give me a dexterity check.
Just regular dexterity, right?
Regular dexterity.
12.
12. Okay. You hold your footing enough. You get yourself climbing your feet up with the rope, pull yourself up to the latch. You get it, and I assume you're pushing up?
The latch is like a hatch above us.
It looks like a hatch above you.
I want
like a
to
circular
quickly
hatch.
investigate and see if I can tell if there's any like runes or anything on it that I need to be aware of, any magic.
Sure.
13.
13. You don't see any runes on the handle or anything. Not
Okay.
with the 13.
Okay. Before I open it, I want my friends around. So I'll lower the rope down and I'll fasten it around one of the handholds
Okay.
to kind of give them a better chance to stabilize themselves.
Okay. So I need everybody to make dexterity checks. Yvette?
10.
Braddock?
17.
Marcus?
10.
Okay. Both Yvette and Marcus, your feet slip on one of the stones because it's a little wet inside from the condensation of the water. You don't slip too far. Yvette and Marcus, I need you both to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
20.
12.
12. Okay. So, Marcus, with your 20, you slip and catch the next stone down. Yvette, with your 12, you slip a little bit further, but you catch the stone, but your feet trace the bottom of the water just as you're grabbing there. And as soon as you trace the bottom of the water, you see the bubbles in the water bubble up more and a few more bubbles. And you see reaching out of the water a slimy octopus tentacle starts curling up and around your leg. Roll for initiative.
Oh, no.
Braddock, what is your initiative?
19.
Yvette?
12.
Linus?
8.
Marcus?
9.
All right. This thing got a initiative. Braddock, you're up first.
All I see at this point is the slimy tentacle, right? I
That's
don't know
correct.
what it is.
You don't. But you see that it's starting to wrap around Yvette's leg.
I'm just going to cast mage armor on myself.
Nice. Teamwork at its finest.
What does that bring you up to?
13.
13.
Oh, goodness. All right, so up next is the strange tentacle curling out of the water. It pulls off of it spins up to your leg, Yvette, and tries to, like, crush you. Oh, that's a natural 1. So it curls up, and what kind of, like, sharp thing do you have on you? Do you
I
have
have a
anything
dagger
sharp?
on me,
You have a
yeah.
dagger, so it curls up, but it goes too fast and, like, scrapes itself on your dagger and kind of pulls itself off of you, and you hear below the water a deafening screech billow up, and you see bubbles just filling up out of the water, and you see another tentacle basically pooling up out of it. All right, up next is going to be Yvette.
Awesome. How far away from the hatch am I from all of them? Is it 10 feet?
It's about 10 feet up, so you'll need to do some climbing to get up to that hatch.
Yeah.
So you'll need to give me a dexterity check to get up there.
Well, I'm going to try to climb. It's a disadvantage, yeah?
No.
Well,
No?
because she's exhausted.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
because you're exhausted.
Awesome. So that's, it's a 10.
So again, with the 10, you slip, and now you are like in the water. You have fallen,
Damn
like
it.
you're floating, but you're like in the water. You're not falling into it, but you're now down
Like
there.
my legs are down there.
Yeah. Wait, were you using the rope?
Yeah.
No. Yeah, you still have exhaustion. But yeah. So now you're in the water.
Awesome.
All right. So up next is going to be Marcus.
I slipped a little bit, but am I still close enough to open the hatch?
Yeah. You would have to do some climbing because you got a little bit up, so you slipped down.
Okay.
So you can just do a dex check for me, and you can
Yeah.
get up and pull the hatch.
That's a 7.
So you slip and also fall into the water along with Yvette. All right, Linus, you're up next.
Okay, well, I'll help someone. I'm going to cast Firebolt at one of the tentacles.
Okay.
That's a natural 1.
We are helping.
So what happens when you do this?
I fire and I burn through the rope that was about dangling halfway
no.
down. So we have more rope, but like that was going to be helpful.
Well, Braddock, I need you to make a dexterity save because you were definitely using that as leverage.
6.
Awesome. So you fire, burn through the rope. You're still bracing yourselves, but Braddock, you goes into the water now.
We're all down there now.
Speaking of, Braddock, it's your turn. Now freshly in the water. And as you hit the water, a third tentacle kind of like basically spins up out of the water next to you.
Right next to me?
Yes.
Well, I'm going to chilling touch it.
All right.
That is subpar. 12?
That hits.
Nice.
This thing is not too tricky in its movement. It's just got...
It is wearing plate mail.
Yeah, I forgot to mention plate mail tentacles.
7 necrotic.
Oh, nice. It doesn't like that. Speaking of, it's up next. And it's going to attack you, Braddock. So, that is a... Oh, no. I don't even need to look at the modifier. I rolled a 15, and your AC is not that. So, unfortunately, sir, you are going to take 7 bludgeoning damage.
Oh, no.
And you are also grappled by this thing.
Oh my god.
That's a fatal wound.
Yeah.
Because you only have 10. Like to remind people, you only have 10. I think and you're the highest health.
I mean, not presently, but...
But yes, you're currently grappled by this thing.
You were so helpful, Linus.
I'm helping!
All right, up next is Yvette.
All right, so Braddock's in the water, like submerged, and then Marcus and I are just like feet dangling in the water.
Yep. Well, no, you're in the water.
We're in the
now.
water,
You're like
okay.
waist up, like you're bobbing in the water, basically.
Okay. Then I am gonna do Ray of Frost on this beastie. It's 22 to hit.
Oh wow, yeah, you definitely hit.
For 2 damage. Woohoo.
All right, chipping away at it.
Yeah. Well, the speed is reduced by 10 feet too until the rest.
Reduced by 10 feet.
Reduced
Okay.
by 10 feet.
Okay.
The whole 10 feet up to the hatch.
Okay, so up next is Marcus.
In a very similar fashion, I'm also going to use Ray of Frost.
Oh,
on
all right.
Baddie boy. That's a 20.
Oh, nice. That also hits.
5 cold.
Nice.
And it's another 10 feet slower if it stacks up.
Oh. So you're doing Ray of Frost. As you're doing this to the water and you're attacking the tentacle, you see the frost start to get down into and touch the water itself. You see the water start to freeze around each of you and around the creature, and it's shaking. It actually has you, Braddock, wrapped, and you see it like kind of tugging on you, but it's starting to resist with the icy water cracking around you. Up next is Linus.
I'd like to use a spell slot, but I have 2 for the day, so I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
How close together are the people who are... Because
Everybody is real tight. This is a tight stone cylinder. Like, it's probably in diameter. It's probably like maybe 10 feet. Like, you guys are tight in this water.
what I'd like to do is cast Firebolt in between everyone to thaw the ice that's holding my companions together. So that that can hopefully get them a chance to vacate the premises.
Fair
Please
enough.
don't burn my hair, Linus.
So 4 plus 6, so it's a total of 10.
That is not enough. Oh, wait, are you attacking the water?
I'm attacking the ice, yeah.
Yeah, you hit it. Like, the ice dodges out of the way.
Had I just rolled the thing...
If you had rolled a 1...
Yeah, that would have been bad.
Yeah, you will set someone on fire. But you hit the water, and you start to heat up the ice around your companions, and they start to be able to move a little bit. Now, are you aiming for around Braddock as well?
How close is Braddock to the others?
Pretty close. So
yeah, I mean... Yeah.
So it'll start to melt some of the ice that you guys were freezing.
That was my goal.
Okay. Speaking of, Braddock, you're up next.
Well, I'm going to have to try to break this grapple.
Yep.
Large numbers. That's 18.
Oh, you do. You break. So you basically, are you using dex or are you using strength?
Strength.
Okay. Oh, yeah. So how do you just break out of this with your epic strength? You needed a 16, so it was pretty good.
He basically is just going to do the Conan backstretch.
Yeah.
And just wrench the tentacle off of him.
This is why I have back day. Awesome. So the tentacles break off of you. Now you can still move. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah, I'm going to try and climb the hell out of here.
Makes sense. Give me a dex save. Or sorry, dex check.
Oh, thank you. 18.
Perfect. So you can scale this thing like the classic fantasy tale Wizard Spider-Man. And you can just get up this thing real fast. Now, do you want to get to the top or where do you want to be? Because you can get pretty much with that kind of a roll all the way up to the top or just above?
I'm gonna get to the top. I'm gonna get to the hatch.
Okay, so you can get your hand on the hatch. Do you want to push it up?
No.
Okay. All right, so you're just holding on to that metal latch hanging off of it? Perfect.
One encounter at a time.
Yeah, that's why I haven't opened it.
All right, so it is this thing's turn. It is now, you see the water start to rise as you see a deep shadow starting to come up, and the water starts spilling out of that, basically that stone hole in the wall as it's getting higher and higher, and you see what looks like maybe deep in the water below an eye, and 2 more tentacles spill up out of the water beneath you. And it's going to swing at you, Linus, who just shot fire near it.
Oh, dear.
So it's going to swing up at you.
Roll low, roll low, roll low.
Again, that's a 16 without any modifiers. So that's going to be 7 damage to Linus.
Oh, well, I'm down to 1.
Oh, no.
And you're grappled.
Good.
All right. So up next is going to be Yvette.
All right. I'm going to try to get up to that hatch, too. Get up out of this water. Ooh. Yeah, no, 6.
So you, again, struggle against the stones, still in the water. These
splashing around.
slippery stones. Now, that was your move. Do you want to do anything?
I'm going to try to frostbite this beastie because it should just affect him. So he has to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay. He rolled an 18.
Okay, yeah.
19 with his modifier.
Gotcha, yeah, it's 14 to beat.
Darn.
Is there
All right,
any-
nothing happens.
Oh, it's a cantrip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Up next is Marcus.
I'm definitely not all about being in murder water, so I'm going to try to get out. Okay, so that's 21.
Oh, wow, yeah. So you, again, scale up like Wizard Spider-Man up to the top, I assume?
Yeah.
Towards the hatch?
Mhm.
All right. What do you do when you get there?
And then I'm going to drop another rope and tie it on the
Nice.
rock.
All right, so you drop the rope down. I would say like just looping a rope around. No, that would probably take you about a full action to do. So yeah, so you've looped a rope down. Okay, up next is Linus. You've got this thing wrapped around you. Are you going to try to break out?
I guess. Yeah.
Using Dex or Strength?
If I can use Dex, then yes, please. 17.
Oh yeah, that's enough. 16 was the modifier. So you slip out of there. What do you just like?
I just suck in my gut and just sort of slip out through the tentacle.
Perfect.
And I imagine I've got these really ugly, like, sucker marks across my pelvis.
yeah.
Or, not my pelvis. Well, maybe. But across my abdomen is what I meant. Then I'll firebolt again.
There you go.
Oh, no.
Because, like, I guess I gotta. Wow, that was almost an 18. But then it was a 4. Plus 6, 10.
That's not enough.
Yeah. I was so close to an 18.
The fire whizzes by the tentacle and splashes in the water. You see steam rising. All right. Up next is Braddock.
Save us from ourselves.
Yeah, because Braddock is actually going to throw open the hatch.
Do it.
Okay.
All right. You throw open the hatch and you're in a new room. It's a larger cylindrical room now, probably about 30 feet in diameter. And along the walls, you see a couple chairs. You see a bookcase, but nothing else. There's a nice carpet in front of you leading out into what looks like a hallway. A hallway that takes you into another room. You see some lights coming from the room, but otherwise nothing else.
Can I reach down, grab Linus, and just heave him up through the hatch?
You can. I'll need a strength check, though, because I assume you're going to pull him up.
Yeah. Well, that's not going to be enough with a 10.
Well, with a 10, you guys are both small boys. You're not lifting like a giant treasure chest. So, like, you grab him and you heave him up. It's not very graceful, but it's kind of one of those things where, like, you pull him up onto yourself, and he lands on top of you, and you guys are in the next room. All right.
Thank you.
Aww.
Thank you.
Okay,
My
up
ribs
next is the creature. The tentacles reach further up towards the top. It sees Marcus and Yvette, and its tentacle swings out at you, Marcus. It's going to try to attack. That's a 3, so that's definitely not going to hit you with a 16 AC. So
Still alive.
the tentacle swings up at you, and it glances off of your magical armor and bounces back down the stone tunnel below.
Yeah, listeners may not know this, but Marcus is the youngest of us. I think he's 14, and he's got the fewest hit points at 6.
Yeah, that one tentacle hit
One
you.
tentacle
that'd
would be
it.
out. Yeah.
Done.
I'm a one tentacle kind of guy.
Yep.
All right, so up next is Yvette.
Awesome. I'm going to try to grab onto that rope that Marcus just put up. 11.
So wait, hold on. Are you bracing with the rope?
I'm bracing with the rope, yeah.
Okay. I'll let you roll without disadvantage.
It was 16 without.
It was?
Yep.
All right, then you're fine.
Oh,
then
yeah,
you can climb up.
Yay.
So you can climb up and you climb up into the next room.
Awesome.
Okay.
And
And
I
then
noticed Linus and Braddock just on top of each other.
yeah.
I'm gonna leave you two alone for a sec. Just I'll be over here.
Very, very like, yeah, I just escaped death.
Right? Tentacle's still like behind me in the chasm.
I'm sort of looking up at you like, but I wasn't. What?
Up next is Marcus.
I want to grab my rope and then hop in the room and just slam the door closed.
Okay. You can now give me a dexterity check.
I'm so very dexterous.
It's not going to give you advantage, but...
Ooh, that's an 8.
Oh, so you're going to slip down a few stones. You're holding onto the rope so you don't fall into the water, but you slip down into a few of those stones. You're just below the hatch, but you're kind of hanging there on the rope. The tentacles are they're basically swirling up now. You see about 8 tentacles coming up at you. Now you see at the top of the water, which is now spilling out because something is pushing the water up, you see the eye and body and maw of what looks like a giant octopus. And its maw is now opening up at you with its tentacles reaching up for you, Marcus. Up next is going to be Linus.
I'm going to reach down, grab that rope, and just run backwards and try to pull him out of the hatch.
Awesome. This is going to be hilariously comical because Linus, being a tiny kid, trying to run backwards with a rope.
He's
with
15.
another
He's
kid.
not that. He's small for his age.
Yeah.
But,
So I'm going to need a strength check.
oh boy, 4.
So you get up to brace yourself and you pull on the rope and then fall backwards, and now you're hanging halfway into the hatch again.
I'm so wet and
Marcus.
slick right now.
This is how I die.
Braddock, it's your turn.
You did predict it in the text chain that you might be the first to go.
Braddock steps up to the hatch, and rather than grab the rope, he's just going to shout out, "Climb," and I'm going to shoot an acid splash at the eye.
Oh, okay. Very nice.
Large numbers.
Them double digits.
Yeah. That would be 21.
Nice. You do hit.
Large numbers.
nice.
6.
All right.
Target must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or take the d6 acid damage.
Nope. That is a 3. All right. So it takes the... Oh, wait. So it takes another d6?
No, that was
Oh, just for...
to save against the 6 I rolled.
Oh, okay. Perfect. So the acid hits its eye and it screeches and the tentacles are going everywhere, slapping against the wall. It looks like because of how tight a space this is the only eye looking up, and the creature looks blinded. It's like tentacles are whipping everywhere against the stone wall, spiraling up, trying to reach at anything. All right, and it's its turn. It's now blinded, so it's just reaching up at you where you were, Braddock, where it thinks it saw you anyway. When a creature is blinded, it can't see and automatically fails all ability checks that require sight, and its attack rolls have disadvantage, so it's going to try to attack you. Let's see, modifier.
He's pausing. I don't like this.
Dun, dun, dun.
It's close enough is the problem.
It's close enough. Your AC is what?
13.
No, it's swinging at the closest, which is going to be
Me?
Marcus.
16.
Awesome. It's +5 to hit. I rolled a 15 and a 10, so it just misses you.
Mage armor.
So its tentacles are whipping around at the closest target, which is you, Marcus. It slaps the stone wall against you and slides towards your armor and then bounces it off once again. All right. Up next is going to be Yvette.
And the rope's just kind of out.
Yeah.
You're like holding on. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna saunter on over and try to help with the rope.
You gonna try to pull them up with it?
I'm gonna just try to help Linus to pull it. Ugh, it's not gonna do anything. It's a 4.
So you rolled a 4. You're not over the hatch, but you were trying to pull on the rope. So it just like unceremoniously, like you're pulling and just slip down, and like you're like where you're like pushing back with your legs. Mm-hmm. So you're like leaning backwards, and then your feet slip out from underneath you, and your butt just hits the stone floor.
You're soaking
about
wet
right.
still.
Yeah, just sitting there. All right, up next is going to be Marcus.
This time for sure totally gonna get out of this stupid
The greatest
hole.
enemy of level 1 characters, dexterity checks.
That's a natural 1.
No! And into the water you go. You completely lose your balance. You fall down, but here's the thing. There's a squishy, like, octopus body there now. So you like smack against its body, and its like little maw starts chittering, like trying to find you.
Does the counterweight make me fly back up, or like?
Oh yeah, because you're holding onto the rope, so you're still trying to pull, and you fly up over the hatch, and Marcus flies down and just bounces off of this octopus body, and it's starting to it knows something's on it now, so its maw is starting to move towards you to try to bite at you. What do you do? That was your movement, so.
This is not great. I guess I'm going to stab it.
Okay.
Question mark.
That is a 12. Does that hit?
That does, actually.
Nice.
Woo!
This thing's everywhere. You're like stabbing at the floor.
True. I am literally on top of it, which is not great. But 7 piercing.
Oh, nice. That's a pretty good amount of damage.
And then I booming bladey stabby dude it. So if it moves, it's not really going to move. But if it did move, it would take a D8 additional thunder damage.
Oh, it does? When it does move?
Yeah, if it chooses to move
Oh, okay.
on its turn.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right. Perfect.
It's probably not going to move, but you never know.
This is my moment. All right, Linus, it's your turn.
I guess firebolt down at the thing.
Okay.
Look out, Marcus! No, look out! 10.
Not enough.
Bounces like a
Fire just like whizzes by Marcus's hair.
Probably hits one of the posts, the stone
Yeah.
blocks.
It breaks one of the ones he was going to go up and climb with. Just kidding.
Stop helping, Linus.
I'm trying.
Braddock, it's your turn.
I'm debating exactly how lawful evil to be at this particular moment.
Do it.
It's up to you.
Braddock is going to sigh heavily after having watched Marcus fall, and he's going to close the hatch.
Oh, no! So you shut the hatch. It's you, Linus, and Yvette in the top area now.
Time for my side adventure.
It is the monster's turn now, Braddock.
The monster's turn. The monster's going to swing.
So
at
it might be moot.
Monster's going to swing at the only thing that's near it, which is you that stabbed it.
Is it still blind?
It's still blinded. Oh my gosh, again, the lowest number was 10, so it just misses you. Tentacle whips again and bounces off that. Your mage armor has kept you alive this game. So Tentacle whips and bounces off of you, the maw moving to try to find you, to like just bite at you. All right. So, Yvette, it's your turn. Hatch is closed. You're sitting in this room. It's nice and cozy in here.
Is there a fire nearby?
There's not. But it does still feel warm in here.
Would you mind, for those of us who were very much dealing with an octopus at the time, re-describing the room?
Sure. So, you probably
Some of us are still dealing with an octopus.
I have not ruled out helping you. I just don't remember where we are.
So it's a larger cylindrical room. It's about 30 feet in diameter now. There are a couple chairs against the wall, and there's a bookcase with some books. And then there's a stone archway that looks to lead down a hallway into another room. Coming out of that room, you see some light. But the light is, now that you're looking around a little bit more, like you haven't just hopped up into it, and the adrenaline's still pumping, you can see some light coming out of the room. It's flickering. So it's smaller, it looks like smaller points of candlelight coming out. And on the wall, I guess, providing light in this room is torchlight.
Well, I have dark vision. You guys are human, but you don't, right?
Well, I'm human. He's in a hatch.
That's true.
I'm about to
So
be
it doesn't
part
matter.
octopus.
Is there any light in that chamber?
Oh, you mean down where the octopus is?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's some from it's barely
from
now
the-
because it's coming in from the stone stairway. There were torches along the interior of the stone stairway, but it's very dark now. It's as dark as it was before
That's true.
because the
That's
hatch is
true.
now closed still.
Oh my goodness.
So what are you doing, Yvette?
You're looking around like, and like you just hear screams of someone stabbing in the cylinder below.
All I'm picturing is that Futurama episode where it's like Bender versus the squid thing underwater. It's just like all slow-mo with the dagger going for him. It's like adventure music in the background. Da, 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 da. All right, so I want to go up to that bookcase.
I mean, I know you're evil.
I'm chaotic evil, so I'm going up to that bookcase. With the screaming, just musically dancing in my head. I don't really know what I want to practice. I just kind of want to see if there's any like really powerful. Would it be an Arcana or like investigation?
You could do an Arcana check because that's what you're looking for. Magical texts is what I'm assuming.
Yeah. So it's 9 with disadvantage.
9? Mm-hmm. You can't really tell. Looking around, you're just looking at the different titles. With a 9, you don't really know what could be magical and what isn't. They all look relatively, I would say, typically you might think like a dusty old bookcase, but they're actually pretty well used books. Some, the binding has been creased a little bit more than others. A lot of the titles are actually, they look like adventure stories, like not particularly like large dictionary tomes you might think like an old wizard would be like paging through, but some of the more creased ones look like fun adventure tales, like about a pirate or one about like a kid who became a tree or something like that, like just a bunch of different ones in this bookcase, and there's very little dust on it.
The gripping adventure of the boy who became a tree.
It sounds more like body horror.
Up next is Marcus.
Okay, so
to the squid
back in
adventure.
the octopus land.
Yeah.
Can I attack it and then still try to run away?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, cool. So
You might
first
take
off,
an attack of opportunity.
I won't,
Unless
because
you
I
want-
have the mobile feat.
Oh, okay.
So if I hit it with a melee attack, or if I attempt to hit it with a melee attack.
Oh, good.
I don't have to succeed.
That was my follow-up question. Is it contingent on success?
Then I am not prone to opportunity attacks from him.
Stabby, stabby.
That's a 19, so that'll
Yeah,
hit.
that'll stab
That's
for
a
sure.
24.
Stab away.
That's a lovely 4 damage,
Nice.
but it is surrounded in that
That energy that if it
field
moves.
again. So if it moves, it will take additional damage. And then I'm going to climb like the wind this time for sure. That's a 15.
Okay, you can. So you scale up to the top. Do you push open the hatch?
Yes.
Okay. So you push open the hatch and scurry into the room. The hatch shuts. And you hear this thing screaming down below. And now you're in the room. And guys, you're out of initiative.
Oh, hey. How you doing?
You made it.
I'm great.
He's just covered in
It's like
octopus
soaking
blood.
wet. There's like goop on me for some reason.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode. We'll be back next week for part 2 of our adventure with Linus and his friends. Photos and character art can be found in the show notes on partialarc.com. And while you're there, why not check out some of our other podcasts, including Roll the Seas, where myself and Andrew Dickinger discuss the absolute madness of Warhammer 40k. If you have any questions about the show, you can email us at FridayNightQuests@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr, all under the handle Partial Arc. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the battlefield.
Yeah, I'm gonna loot the body.
So, how much experience do we get?
Well, now we have a skeleton army, so that's pretty neat.